This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They've been in a great group. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
But we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The numbers for him from a week ago: 6 catches, 71 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Play action. Now Wilson. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball. And sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he checks this one down to Williams. And an alley to run. And they're well past across midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering. Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's more. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A very solid gain of 27. The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it. They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Wilson will throw again. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing. Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now. Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. To throw is Wilson. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter. Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling. Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done. And his kick here is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there counts what winds up to be an 11-play drive. Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6? That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football. Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain. Called fitting your gaps, right? I love it. You're exactly right. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that. They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the 1st down there, help them relax a little bit. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What do I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Frank Clark in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 37.
Don't take forever, okay?
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. Room to run past midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They keep it with Penny on 1st down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here's Wilson to throw. And he finds Penny. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
For the catch made by Hopkins. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for him, too.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mahomes now on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. Flush to his right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Going deep for Hopkins. And got his man complete. And give him a gain of 37. Nothing conservative about that play call. You said earlier in the quarter you wanted to see them open things up, maybe take some shots downfield. There you go.
Yeah, that one was successful. But even if they're not successful, when you take those shots downfield, they've got to back off a little bit, loosen up a little bit on defense, and give you a little bit more room if you want to run the football.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Throwing now is Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, Should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is it allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the...
There goes Jeremy Hill. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Jeremy Hill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. This is taken near the 13. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done.
That's caught inside the 20. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The Texans on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12. Now it's Mahomes again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half, as it's 1st and 10. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle.
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a nice play defensively on first down, as this is knocked away and incomplete. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll run it here. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. That's Hopkins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Mahomes now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to maneuver. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And they'll go on the ground. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Working from the gun, Mahomes throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They get 6 yards going for it on 4th, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now.
Back now in Houston. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. And the ball situated at the 9, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. Flushed out right. That's complete, right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, partner, they're still going to have to go for it after that play. And I'm not sure that the running game is going to be a part of what they have to do on 4th down now.
From this far out, you wouldn't think so. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So you're a boxing guy. How do you score that on your boxing card? A very long drive, but 3 points.
And I really want to do my boxing analyst voice right here, but I'm going to keep it normal for us, right? I call it a draw. That type of a drive.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit, because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off, because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again, it's Penny. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Good defense holds them to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And here comes the Texans now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Penny, a 1st down carry. Gave a glimpse of his power that time. And then brought down at the 30. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Coney Ely in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Penny on the counter. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties. And they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And his kick is good. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, They're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now. They feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
A very solid gain of 27. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st down, Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hopkins. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Pardon, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. K.J. Wright in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Seahawks, the playoffs may be out of reach, but the win gets them to 4-8 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.